You go to the local supermarket every day, but you notice that something changes. You should figure out the truth about this place. That's all that's written about this tiny indie game titled Experiment Groceries. We'll talk more about the importance of that first word later. The game greets you with a brief cutscene. You're driving to the supermarket at night. You must have forgotten to do your grocery run earlier in the day, or maybe you just need some last minute items for a party. As you'd expect, the parking lot is void of customers, because who else would visit the store this late at night? You aren't like the other people though. You take what you want, when you want it. At least that's what you think. The game begins with the player standing in the parking lot, with nowhere to go but inside. You have a flashlight with you. Strange. Why would you need a flashlight in a fully lit up store? The goal is straightforward. Find the items on your shopping list, check out, and then go home. Simple enough. There's one employee working the graveyard shift. She probably hates you. Just grab the items and go. Don't make this harder on her than it already is. So that's exactly what you do. You shop some more, you wonder why the security cam is tracking your every move, and eventually, you have found everything needed to complete the game. As you're checking out, you can feel the judgment from across the register. You realize you're an awful human being. Grab your bags and you're off. Congratulations, you just beat Experiment Groceries. The game ends with you getting back into your car. Wait, hold on. Why are you back here? You just finished shopping. It's time to go home. Oh, that's right, you forgot the beer, a staple of every party for one. The game up to this point has been strikingly simple, and it leaves the player wondering if there's any more to the gameplay. The game is labeled psychological horror. What about shopping is psychological or horrifying? What if the premise of the game is to drive the player insane by pretending to be more than just a shopping simulator, when in reality that's all it actually is? It's dishonest up front, your expectations are subverted, and you absolutely despise the game. But you feel the urge to keep repeating the same mundane task over and over, because what if the story reveals itself right now? Or now? Or maybe the next time you check out? The game builds up this cycle of confusion and suspense by doing absolutely nothing. Congratulations, the developer has successfully driven you mad, and they've rightfully earned that psychological horror title. Being forced to shop with no end in sight. How terrifying. But the story does reveal itself. Keep shopping. You check out once, twice, thrice, and on your fourth visit, something goes terribly wrong. The grocery store is no longer what it seems. The lights go out. That one employee finally reveals how she feels about you. Okay, great. Just keep shopping and hopefully nothing scary will happen. And maybe the game will end. No. The game wants you to enter the office in the back, where they clone all their angry minimum wage employees. Back here we get our first clue to what is going on. According to this paper, you're part of some sort of experiment. Some sick experiment that involves you, the test subject, going about a normal shopping trip and having your behavior studied. This first paper doesn't give us much information, but it does make note of your decision to use or to not use the toilet earlier in the game. What we do know is that something paranormal is happening. It seems the experiment is to see if you, the test subject, notice any paranormal phenomenons during your visit. That's interesting. After this, you're guided to a different door. It's a storage room. Now that's just overdramatic. There's a paper on one of the far racks back here. You pick it up. It's a set of guidelines for the employees to follow. The rules are simple. Keep track of the test subject. Don't go into the cloning room, I mean server room. Can't leave during the experiment, and you have to obey your superiors. And by the way, according to this paper, if you don't follow the rules, you die. There are a few important things to note here. It seems that whoever's in the server room is the person responsible for running the experiment, hence why it says regular staff cannot go in there, but that doesn't include supervisors. There's also something called an experiment phase. We can conclude that the store isn't always in this quote-unquote experiment phase, implying that the supervisors in the server room start and end the experiment at will. So let's go ahead and try and finish out the game before we try and understand what's going on here. You follow the note's incredibly subtle message about going to the bathroom, and it's there that you'll find an exit through the window, but that's not before trying to use the toilet. Okay, you hop out the window and you make your way back to the car, and the game ends. The experiment is over, the end. But I don't think the experiment ever actually began. Let's revisit the employee guidelines. Violation of these rules will get you executed. Who do you think is doing the executing here? It should be the supervisor, right? He seems to be the one running the server room, he runs the security cameras, and he's keeping tabs on the whole place. But if that's the case, then why is he dead? There's an external force at play here. While running around the grocery store, out of the corner of your eye, you spot this girl for a split second every now and then, but she disappears fast. Now the paper in the server room makes a lot more sense. This store is housing some paranormal entity. It's quite possible that in this experiment, we weren't even the ones being studied, but instead, we were being used as bait to draw out a paranormal force, and that was the true test subject. And we did, because everything was going fine and dandy for the first 3 nights, but something went seriously wrong at the start of the 4th night. It's my belief that both the supervisors and the employees bit off more than they could chew with this paranormal entity, and that's what I think this game is actually about. Or it could just be a simple little indie game that subverts your expectations with monotony and boredom until giving you a cute little scare at the end. We may never know. The game is called Experiment Groceries, and it's a very quick playthrough. You can finish it in less than 10 minutes. And if you want to do so, the download link is below. I think it's a wonderful little game. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.